Thanks everyone for your attendance today. We're here to acknowledge and pay tribute to the careers of these two gentlemen at their original clubs, Western Bulldogs and Kangaroos, and also obviously the Hawthorn Footy Club. They've both been fantastic contributors to our club since they've been here. They're retiring as three-time Premiership veterans, very, very decorated servants of their respective clubs, but particularly here at Hawthorn, where they've contributed enormously to our success over the last 3 years in particular, but in Haley's case even a little bit longer than that. So we thank them for their service, acknowledge the enormous contribution that they've made to our footy club, and I'll probably pass over to Haley just to say a few words about his time at this club and certainly his career over his North Melbourne Footy Club as well as the Hawthorn Footy Club.
Thanks, Clarko. Obviously, my 5 years at Hawthorn have been more than obviously I could dream of, and 5, 6 years ago to think that I could finish my career the way that it's turned out was pretty unbelievable. Obviously, drafted to North at 17, spent 9 years there, and still got some really good mates there. But then to get the chance, obviously when Clarko, met with Clarko, and obviously Adam Simpson probably played a big part in that as well. So he was pretty keen to get me across, and when sitting down with Clarko and going through the names on the whiteboard and seeing the talent that we had here was a pretty easy decision, I suppose, to come across in the end. And I guess the 5 years here have been vindicated in that sense. 3 flags in a row with such an amazing group, and it's been something that I couldn't have dreamed of. And obviously there's a few people to thank. My mum and dad drove me around the countryside as a young kid, encouraged me to play as much sport as I could, tennis, cricket, obviously footy. So mum wasn't too keen on footy because it robbed me of my tennis career, but I think she's finally come around. Obviously everyone at the coaching staff of this footy club, Clarko, he's had unwavering support in my footy since I got here. The medical staff, Jack and Bart, spent a fair bit of time getting me out in the park, and I think after my second year, the word was I needed a double hip surgery, so that would have probably robbed me of a few years. So I can only thank them for the time they put into me. Big Monk, when I first came to Hawthorn, I probably hadn't done a lot of ruck work, to be honest, at North, and I remember my first session with Monkey. The end of it was to wrestle with Monk and try and get the ball off, and it was like trying to move concrete. So since then it's slowly improved, but Monk's given me a wealth of knowledge that I probably didn't possess before I got here, and I'm eternally grateful for the stuff you've done, mate. The other coaches, Rats, Bolts, I was here a long time, Rathius, everyone's had an impact on my career, and like I said, it's such a good club. Everyone works in the same direction, and you can see with the list that we've got, everyone knows their role and what they should be doing. Lastly, to my family now, I've got 3 beautiful kids, Mia, Asher and Lukey, and my wife Teresa, who's been with me since I was, I think, 16, so she obviously saw the male model potential in me back then. Had a bit more hair then, but she's the amount of sacrifice she's made to look after the 3 kids. A lot of time, nearly as a single parent, I suppose, the time you spend at a footy club, but her support's been remarkable the whole time, so thanks to her, and I'm sure there's a few more I've missed, but it's a good way to go out.
Geez, that's hard to follow up with that, isn't it? Wow. Well, thanks everyone for actually coming here. That's I guess that's where I'll start off with. Yes, it's been a interesting career, I guess I can say I've had. I've got drafted a little bit later than everyone else as a 19-year-old. Brenton Hart was my manager at that stage, and he was good mates with Scotty Clayton, who eventually got me a gig at the Bulldogs. So I've got to thank those guys, Terry Wallace as well, to give me the opportunity. Probably Rocket Eade as well. He's definitely been sort of a love-hate relationship me and Rocket had, but he probably got the best out of me. He gave me the confidence to back myself and back my abilities, which I did. I'd live and die by the sword, and Rock used to get into me a fair bit. Clarko enjoyed that for 3 years as well. Wasn't too many on the bad side, was there?
Just
probably
one day, I guess the Kangas wasn't too good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah. That's all right. We won't talk about that. But yeah, to get the opportunity, I spoke to Marty, my manager, back in 2012, and I thought my days were numbered at the Bulldogs, and that I thought I needed a change to go and strive to win a premiership, and that's what every AFL player wanted to do. So to come back after my end of season holidays to get the call on in just before grand final 2012 to say that there's an opportunity to come to Hawthorn. I was very excited about, and for the last 3 years to live the dream to play in 3 premierships, to meet so many wonderful people. It's changed me, not just on the field but off the field as well, into a better person. Cost me a bit with the tag, and when I did lose my licence, it took me 2 hours to get to training, so that was not fun at all. But they were the challenges. I blame the wife still for me getting arrested. At least I can go back. At least I can go back to the Portsea Polo now, which I'm looking forward to. Probably can't get I can't afford to get in, so hopefully I get some free tickets. But it's been a wonderful experience. I've made the guys work. I've cost Foxy his hair. Clarko as well. I've put him under a fair bit of pump for these 3 years, and Chris Fagan there as well. But I've enjoyed every minute that I've been here. I would have loved to have kept going, but always some things have got to come to an end. So I'm happy with that. The kids are here. They enjoy themselves. The little fella had a little cry today, saying he's not going to have any friends now because the only reason they like him is because of me. Oh, he's crying. Oh, sorry, mate. But I've got to thank the football club, Clarko, and my manager, Marty, for getting me over here and let me fulfil my dream of playing in a premiership. Probably a little bit greedy having 3, but I'll take that. To the kids, sorry mate. My wife, I have haven't been easy to live with over the last sort of 10 years. So I want to thank you very much for being patient with me. That's probably about it. That's all I've got.
Brian, how was the decision arrived at? It's always difficult winning a flag. You've got one of the loudest applauses on Saturday. But was a discussion with Clarko over the last sort of couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's not easy when it's Mad Monday as well that you have the conversation. I was a little bit tired, lack of sleep over the last couple of days, but yeah, I'm happy with it. I would have loved to have kept playing. I'll still be playing local football somewhere next year. Most likely Carolina Springs, but if the price is right. But yeah, I've come to terms with it now and looking forward to enjoying food and a few beers and not stressing about coming back at pre-season in good shape.
Do you consider at all trying to play on another club?
No. Fairy tales, you look at it, 3 years, 3 premierships. I left the Bulldogs to win premierships, so to be honest, I think Hawthorn is going to go close again next year, so I can't really go back here, can I?
You have to lap this up at the moment, but have you thought about what you might do next? You're enormously popular. You've got a bit of a cult status now. What are you going to do?
Seek.com.au, I think it is. Not sure, my resumes are just at the door, so if you can grab them on your way out. I don't know, I'm going to enjoy the next couple of weeks. I've got to go to Bali end of October for a couple of weeks as well, so I'll enjoy that. But I've been in the football system for 14, 15 years, so I want to stay in football in some capacity, if that's media, if that's working in admin in a football club. Somehow I want to stay involved in football.
Is it true that the first 2 nights you spent at the Bulldogs, you actually slept in the grandstand?
No, it wasn't 2 nights. No, it was just the 1 night. that was back in the day when you could have a get together and you can enjoy a few beers and some drinking games. That was the culture back then, and I had been in Melbourne for a couple of weeks, and I didn't know the suburb I was living in, which was Kiaba at that stage, and I forgot where I was living. So I knew we had training the next day, a recovery session. So I thought, well, save me a cab fare as well. Just go to the club and just sleep there.
It's fair. You've probably come a long way since then.
Yeah, got a
Not
house.
too far.
Yeah.
You're not too much different now.
Yeah, I got a house, comfy bed.
We hear so much about Brian's bargains. I mean, recruited from the Western Bulldogs, do you consider yourself a bargain?
I did, yeah. That's the best bargain. Pick 71, 2001 draft. No, I do. I'd like to have a little bit of fun and muck around, and the bargains things a little bit side of that. I don't know. I'll need to get someone that can develop an app. Maybe I can start doing something like that to start up a Brian's bargain app. So if you've got anyone that can do that, I'll give them my number later.
Mate, you already provided us with a goal, but is it true that for the Caroline Springs game, so we saw you at the Gatorade truck on the weekend, you sometimes go to the golf cart and sell some Mars bars and Coke and all that stuff to make it a bit extra, pretty enterprising?
Well, I was planning ahead, so I knew I had to make Caroline Springs some money in the last 3 or 4 years, knowing that eventually I'd have to play there. So I thought if I could make their money, they can obviously pay me a little bit more. So it's been a method to my madness.
Brian, just you take it back to your last few years at the Dogs. The body seemed to be almost failing you for a while there. You just must look back to that time and 3 years on. You just must be pitching yourself.
Yeah, I just couldn't recover after the 3 surgeries I had in the end of 2010, and the knee injury I had, we just needed to be corrected again. We just didn't tighten it up enough. So to go through that season with the body not right was hard, and I did cop it from everywhere. And those sort of days, you sort of know and learn a lot about yourself and people around you and how quickly some people can turn on you. So definitely learned a lot, and when I got that fixed up, and well, surgeon David Young, got to thank him for getting it right, but also when I come here as well, that I guess we pressed the reset button with Andy Russell and Bart and that, and we started over. We got in here, it was pretty much as soon as I come over here on I think it was a Monday or Tuesday of trade week, I was in the gym straight after starting pre-season. So to get that, it hasn't been a thing that's just happened. It's taken a fair while to get to, and been able to play 22 games this year when I'm 33. I've been reasonably happy with.
Did you ever feel? Were there any times where you thought, well, maybe this is the end? This is the end for me. Before you moved to Hawthorn, were there times where you thought?
Yeah, it's a lonely place when you're struggling with injuries, and you're in rehab. Me and Adam Kearney had the same sort of experience in that 2011 season where everyone was turning on us and we weren't playing good football. The side was struggling as well, so you always had in the back of your mind that this could be your last year, or you might not be able to recover from those injuries. So for me, I'm a reasonably positive sort of person, so I kept the head up and still had confidence that I could get back to playing good football.
David, you mentioned your parents used to drive you around. You're a great footy story. I think you were born in Tasmania and played a lot of your footy in southeast Queensland. In those days, did you ever think it'd all end up with 3 flags?
Not at all. Obviously, born in Tassie. Not a lot of people probably know I'm born in Tassie, which is maybe a good thing and a bad thing. So yeah, dad's from Tassie and all his family's down there, and yeah, grew up on the border, New South Wales and Queensland, and yeah, played a lot of sports, and we used to live near a footy ground, so it was pretty easy to get down there. And my old man had about 7 knee recos, so he didn't play much footy. He was an Olympic rower, and yeah, he's been great for my career and everything I do. He's very supportive, so it's yeah, obviously when you're playing footy at that age, you don't really think about getting to the big time. It probably wasn't until I was about 15 or 16 that I actually focused solely on footy anyway. So it was yeah, once you start, that is the dream. But like I said, at North, I probably never really had that sense that we were close to winning the flag, I suppose. But as soon as we got here, yeah, that sense came pretty quickly.
Obviously, Graham Wright and Stu are geniuses, but who wooed you to come to Hawthorn? How did all that sort of take place?
I think we actually drove out to see Clarko about 8 o'clock at night. I think it was pouring rain, and came out and saw him out here, and just with Teresa, and yeah, then for the next week or so, back and forth. Obviously, spoken to a few other clubs as well, but yeah, I think Simo was a fair driving force in that as well, and I played with Isaac Smith at North Ballarat against Box Hill, which probably helped as well. I think we both had a pretty good day, so yeah, from then it all sort of flowed pretty quickly, and yeah, I guess the rest is history from there.
What is it about?
David, obviously, other than the male modelling that you mentioned before, what comes next?
Well, I've nearly finished a teaching degree, so I've been chipping away at that for about the last, 14 years. So it's been a slow process, but with 3 kids in footy and everything else, it's a bit hard to knock that off. So I've nearly finished that, and obviously, footy stuff as well. If that opportunity comes up, that's something I'll look at as well.
So you said the other day that your body was pretty banged up. Do you feel like you got everything you possibly could have out of yourself physically?
Yeah, probably. I think if you looked at any of my scans, it's not very good viewing. But I never really complained. Nothing was hurting too much, I suppose. Barton that would probably say differently, but I didn't seem to worry me too much. It was just getting out there on the track and getting it done really. And there's a few little niggles here and there, but nothing. I didn't have anything too major. But I guess after 14 years of playing ruck and forward, it eventually wears down. Yeah.
What is it about Hawthorn? Because there's so many guys that you brought in Alastair, and I guess this is you too. What is it about Hawthorn when you come here? Everyone seems to get the best out of themselves. What do you think it is here?
I guess credit goes, the Clark and the coach. Everyone, the game style we have and the game structure. Everyone comes in, they know it pretty quickly, and regardless of your age profile or position you play, everyone knows the role you should be filling. And I guess that's something that is indoctrinated in us as soon as you get here. And the leadership group and the culture that we've got here is second to none with what I've seen. And going forward, we've got some good young fellas coming through. I'm sure we'll drive that going forward. So. Like Brian, I see no difference, no reason why the club can't stay where it is for the next few years.
And just Alastair, is there a place in the game, I mean with 40 on your list, you said last night it's hard to keep someone on just for say 10, 12 games. Is there a place for maybe another veteran place that can only play a certain number of games in a season?
I haven't really given it any thought, but I do know that nearly the most difficult decision that anyone's got to make at a footy club, and this club's had to retire some very, very decorated players over its journey, and it's nearly the most difficult part of your job. It's always really tough to be involved in coaching and put an end to some careers in a sense. But these guys have made great contributions. It's very, very rare in footy that players sort of get to go out on a really good note like this. These guys have made stellar contributions to our club, particularly over the last 3 years. They've both filled really, really important roles in our system. I want to acknowledge the people in the room that have contributed so much to the careers of these guys in their time at Hawthorn. That's administrators, that's coaches, that's fitness and medical, and also our football department that have been unbelievably supportive to these two and the rest of our players too. And can't thank them enough for helping out our players, but particularly to Teresa and also to Shannon. Going to miss you guys and your beautiful kids. We really enjoy grand final days, but particularly the aftermath when there's so many children on the ground, and sharing it with their fathers and families is a really, really special part of our footy club. And thanks, Haley. 237 games, 3 premierships, 251 games, 3 premierships. We're just delighted with what these guys have been able to do for our football club. Thank you.
I think Teresa's said in the past on record that she prefers you without the hair now. Do you think you're a better player with or without the hair?
I don't know. I think the North people would probably say without the hair. Didn't seem to help me when it went on, but I don't know. We all make decisions in life that are different, mate. So it was, I think she's a bit happy with the reflective look.
Was the 8-goal game with or without the down, John?
I don't know. I think it was before then, yeah. So back in the male model days.
I think Clarko mentioned the families being out on the ground on Saturday. One of our producers thought you might have missed the team song as you were with your family on the ground. Did you make it back into the room?
No, I made it back. Yeah, me and the little fella were having a kick for goal just in front of the cheer squad. But I did see the team go off, and I thought I'd better dart in. But no, I didn't miss anything.
Who's the toughest opponent you two played against?
You go first, Dave.
That's a good question. I guess, ruck's down, you got Sandlands, who's 20 foot tall. You got Nick Nat, obviously, who can jump everywhere. So, I didn't have a great leap. I wasn't real quick. So,
you didn't leap?
Usually, Brian will tell you I didn't jump in my whole career. But, I don't know. Once you get this level, they're all pretty good, mate. To be honest, I think the final series we played 4 were probably the best ruckman going around. So it didn't get any easier, but you bring your own strengths to the table, I suppose, and work from there.
I've always said Barry Hall, just how good Sydney were in that period when he was really successful. It was just his speed and power. You weren't able to get too close to him because he was just able to push you off, and when you're too far off him, his explosive power in his legs, he was just able to get that sort of 10-15 metre gap on you reasonably easily. So for me, he's probably the standout sort of player. He had Rewalt, also Matthew Richardson, just with their fitness and their athletic ability. But for me, it's always just been Baz.
Brian, I was going to say, it's obviously been written up this week that Clarko's obviously one of the best coaches in the history of the competition. Now, how was he able to get the most out of you? You mentioned you had a bit of a funny old relationship with Rocket, but you guys seem to have a really stable and effective relationship.
Oh, it's just coming into a good system and knowing what role I have to play. So playing in the back six with so many good players, with Gibbo, Strats, Birch, Sean, Luke Hodge and stages as well. So you come in, slide into a side like that, and just knowing you don't have to do anything extraordinary in the game, that you've just got to play your role and in the structure of the back six. And when you've got that and a clear role, what you have to do, it makes your job easier. And that's how you can see with guys coming into our side that every premiership we've had some changes, but guys come in and play their role, and we've got some good depth in the Box Hill side that guys are always pushing for positions, and when they do come into the side, they play their role and they stand out.
And you've got a few teammates sitting here. Who are the teammates you'll miss the most, and who are the teammates you'll miss the least?
Yeah, they'll say me.
They miss Brian.
Yeah. Just hope they retire my seat over there. There's going to be a lot of coaches. They're going to be happy around that corner because I do annoy them on some occasions. There's probably going to be some more food at lunchtime left over now. I won't be taking that home.
We won't miss the flatulence.
Oh yeah, no, you won't. I blame the protein powder on that. No, I'm going to miss the guys. I'll sit next to Segs, obviously in the lockers. I'll sit with him in the meeting, so he's going to definitely be happy with me gone. But you're going to miss everyone. You're going to miss the environment of just being around 44 guys, and I guess it allows you to sort of be a kid still as well. That I'm 33 and I find I'm still young, and I act young when I'm here. Get home, you got 3 kids, you got to act like a dad at that stage. But I enjoy just being around the boys, so that's going to be the biggest thing I think I'm going to struggle with.
Father sons, who they play for? You both played 100 games.
54 here I played, but the little fella he's stuck at the Bulldogs.
Okay. Yeah, yourself.
Yeah, I qualified for both, so hopefully Luke,
Got some
he's
options.
got a while to go. Yeah, he's only just turned 1, so see how he goes.
Brian, was there a moment, I mean, you obviously would have had an idea that, Saturday was the last game. Was there a moment on the field where you sort of went, this, particularly late in the game, was there a moment where you thought this is it?
No, I was struggling at the end of the game. I was just struggling for air. So no, I didn't think about it too much, to be honest with you. You sort of, halfway through the season, you sort of, you prepare yourself mentally for the worst case scenario, and worst case, I'm sitting here right now. So I sort of had my head around it anyway, that this time was coming. It still doesn't sink in. It won't sink in for a while. It's probably until round 1 when the boys start playing again and you're sitting watching it in the crowd. That's probably when it's going to sink in the most. So as I said before, I'm sitting here pretty happy with the career, and I'm going to celebrate that for the next couple of weeks. I'll probably end up down at Westport later on today and have a few quiet ones. So I'm still looking after the club here, just looking after Foxy's got a smile on his face. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not going to sit there and think, geez, what if? I'm happy with the career I've had. Would have liked to play some more games, but injury and suspension cost me.
And David, you made a bit of history on Saturday. It seems you were the last player to be subbed out of an AFL game. How does that make you feel?
Yeah.
They might have to frame it up, I think. I think, it was a good omen. I think all 4 finals I got the vest, so it was, obviously, that's just how it happened, mate. So near the end of the third quarter, you see Rico stand up, you got a fair idea you're getting a vest again. So, I obviously knew I was pretty close anyway, so it was, good to enjoy the last quarter and see the boys strut their thing and then, celebrate from there. But I think everyone's pretty happy that rule's gone, to be honest. So yeah, we'll move on from there.
That smother might be the shining light on your highlight reel.
Hope so. It was all right. Yeah, it's just one of the things. I played with Josh for a while, so I sort of knew what sort of player he was. I knew he was going to go for goal, to be honest with you. I knew what he was going to do. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Yeah, no, I won't talk myself up too much, but it was all right. Yeah.
No worries. Yeah, thanks for your attendance.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you.